Right. I'm off to deal with the fate of the planet. Be gentle with them.
Oh, you know me, Mark. Kid gloves, but made from real kids.
People once believed that when someone dies, a crow carries their soul to the land of the dead. But sometimes, something so bad happens that a terrible sadness is carried with it, and the soul can't rest. Then sometimes, just sometimes, the crow can bring that soul back to put the wrong things right.
Yeah, I know. I'm late to the party, but whatever. Mainly because there isn't much for me to talk about in recent times. And secondly, I was not sure if I was gonna make even a video about it because everybody has talked about it. Everybody has given their opinion about it. So I wasn't unsure if there is anything worth adding to the conversation. But still, as you can see, I'm gonna do this video, and my thoughts on the reboot of The Crow is like, really, I don't know. Like, Bill Skarsgård is a good actor. I have seen him in a bunch of stuff, and I do like his performances. So yeah, and it's kind of funny because at one point this movie has been in so long in development that his brother Alexander was even considered for the role. Until they said like, oh, Alexander is too old, we're gonna go with Bill. And if they had even taken longer to make this film, they probably would have went with Walter Skarsgård. There are a bunch of Skarsgård brothers, whatever. This movie has been in the works for a long time, practically since the original came out. They wanted to do some kind of reboot because the sequels didn't work out. I talked about City of Angels. I have not seen the other sequels. I might do like a The Crow week if I have the time for it and the willpower to stomach a couple of terrible movies, or at least films that are remembered as terrible. I haven't seen them by myself. FKA Twigs is an unusual choice for sure because she's a singer. There's even a one song I know by her that I've listened a couple of times, but I've never seen her act. So unusual choice. And then there's a bunch of other stuff, like the song and trailer fucking sucked. I don't know. It completely misses the vibe. And secondly, there is already a film with Eric Draven, and its story is timeless, and there are many other protagonists in the Crow franchise. The sequel to the original The Crow comic is about a Native American waking up 100 years later and taking revenge on a motorcycle gang. And then there's a story where a young mother is killed with her daughter, and she comes back. Her name's Iris Shaw. So I don't know why they had to go with Eric Draven, because there are a lot of other protagonists and a lot of interesting characters and concepts introduced in the Crow franchise. For example, the Crow Curare, which is an unusual story because the main resurrected Carrie doesn't actually hunt and kill them, but it's more like she's assisting a police detective who's investigating her death and the perpetrators. So that's a fascinating concept that you have that you can go with. And for another thing, in the 90s there was also a TV show about Eric Draven. He's the most recognizable face, but one thing I have to applaud the sequels is that they went with different protagonists. Sure, they tried to invoke the atmosphere of the first film in one way or another, but at least in that regard they were original. And we have seen the story brilliantly portrayed on film by Brandon Lee in a film which has an atmosphere that can't be replicated. We have seen Eric Draven's story play out on television. So why do we need a new movie for that when you have lots of choices and interesting directions to go with? And I know it's kind of super hypocritical to say from me, because right now I've been working on a pitch for a reboot of the Battlestar Galactica Caprica series for a couple of months, but like this doesn't feel new or interesting. The polished look of the film doesn't work. The fact that they're supposedly addicts in the film kind of goes against the original story and this eternal love. I think it's just a misguided attempt really to focus on, and it focuses on the wrong aspects. And I say that in the calmest way possible because I don't try to get angry anymore, and I feel like if they switched up names, or if this wasn't using the Eric Draven name, people would have less of a problem with it. But yeah, that's the state of things. Honestly, that's just what I can get from what I've learned even before the trailer came out from pre-production and what I've known about the trailer. Maybe the film will be brilliant and then everybody will regret their opinion and stuck a sock in their mouths, or maybe it will fail terribly. At this point, the film has a great antipathy for it going on and is at a great disposition in attracting old fans of the franchise and also gaining new fans. But that's just my perspective as an old head, as a fan of the original. I would have liked to see more of a reboot from one of the lesser Crow films in the franchise. I think City of Angels definitely deserves a second chance, and I hope you like this. I might do further retrospectives if you guys want me to do that. Otherwise, I can offer to give some opinions on the X-Men 97 series, and or even go back into the early 2000s and talk about, I don't know, Mutant X or Dark Angel. So yeah, I hope you enjoy.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Well, the books are full of words that you read, and the show gets me paid.